Entering the 2014 spring season, the one position Fordham head coach Joe Moorhead doesn't need to concern himself with is wide receiver. The Rams return not one, not two, but an almost unheard of 3 wide receivers in 2014 who each recorded more than 1,000 receiving yards last fall. Sam Ajala, Brian Wetzel, and Bucky Jones Jr. combined for over 3,800 receiving yards last year, more yards than all but 6 NCAA FCS schools had in total for the season. Leading the way is Sam Ajala, a 2013 Consensus All-American, who hauled in 93 passes for 1,646 yards last year with 14 touchdowns. He broke the school record of receiving yards in a season and tied the school mark for receiving touchdowns in a season. Ajala was second in the NCAA FCS in receiving yards and second in the Patriot League and fourth in the NCAA FCS in receiving yards per game. Brian Wetzel, who received second-team All-Patriot League accolades at both wide receiver and punt returner, was the second leading receiver for the Rams last year, catching 89 passes for 1,094 yards and 14 touchdowns, tying the school mark for receiving touchdowns in a season. He tied for the Patriot League and was fourth in the NCAA FCS in receiving touchdowns and was fourth in the league and 17th in the nation in receptions per game. Bucky Jones Jr., a second-team All-League pick last fall, enjoyed a prolific first season at Fordham after transferring from UConn. On the year, he caught 85 passes for 1,154 yards and 5 touchdowns. He ranked third in the league and 15th in the NCAA in receptions per game. Also returning for the Rams are Jorge Solano, who hauled in 10 passes for 116 yards and a touchdown last fall, and Marcus Jones, who also caught 10 passes for 126 yards in 7 games in his first year with the Rams. Also enjoying a successful spring season is tight end Faizan Odom, who looks for more playing time in 2014. Following practice, we caught up with Brian Wetzel and spoke with him about the spring season, as well as a friend of his from high school. All right, so about 3/4 of the way through spring practice, Brian, how's it been going?
It's been going well. I think we've been getting better every day on focusing on the little things. Coach says get from point A to point B and from point B to point C every practice, taking little strides and doing little things right, and I think it's paying off.
Now, you were one of the 3 1,000-yard receivers last year. Have you ever been on a team that had 3,000-yard receivers?
I don't think anybody's ever been on a team where that's happened, and credit to the coaches for running the right plays. Credit to all the other players on the field at the time, doing their job and allowing us to get open. All we have to do is do our job and catch the ball, and paid off.
How much is that teamwork? I mean, obviously, to have 3 guys share the ball that much, it's got to be something unique.
Well, it's huge. Well, it starts with the O-line. If they're not blocking, we're not getting the ball, and then the quarterback has to be making the right reads. A lot of people don't know that on the backside of plays, I know when I'm running routes that Sam's doing his job on the backside to take the trash out and get me open on the front side. So we all work together as a team, and without it, it doesn't happen. So it's very important.
And I think what people don't realize too is not only you top 3, but the receiving corps is pretty deep. I mean, there's 3, 4, 5, 6 guys.
Definitely, we know everybody on the receiving corps knows that at any point one person can go down. So you got to be ready. It's got to be the next guy in, and luckily we have enough talent to where if somebody does go down, I think we'll be all right. So.
And one last question, I got to ask you this: how closely were you watching the Masters yesterday?
I was pretty tuned in. My friend is Jordan Speed from home, so we went to the same grade school and high school. So yeah, it was a little disappointing, but I know he'll be back, and it was a fun time to watch.